Alright, so you've got your acceptance from a US university. Dreams of studying in a US university is finally going to become a reality. But there's a lot of confusion, and I get it. SEVIS fees, DS-160, how to apply for the F1 visa. Well, don't worry, because today I'm going to explain everything about F1 visa in step-by-step fashion. Let's get started. The very first step is to get I20 from the university. Well, if you have it, perfect. If you don't, try contacting the university and get your I20 ASAP so that you can start with the visa application process quickly. Step 2. Now you have to start filling your DS-160 form. In short, it is all about you form. What's your name? Where are you from? What is your education? Your parents' name? आपके बचपन का nickname क्या था? वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह, right? That's what you have to fill. Now it's a pretty long ass form, and it took me around 35 minutes to fill my DS-160 when I was applying for the F1 visa. And one tip that I would say is, before you start filling your DS-160, just go on YouTube and search for videos where people have already talked about how to fill the DS-160 form. That gives you an idea about what is this DS-160 form and what are the things they can ask you. Because what happens while filling that form is the website is going to log you out every 15 minutes or 20 minutes, right? So it becomes a little frustrating. So if you have an idea about what is this DS-160 form is about, you can fill it quickly. Well, during my time, the passport size photo was not required, but now I can see in the website that it is required. So whatever that photo requirement is, you can just go to the website. The link to every website is in the description, and so for the DS-160 as well. You can go there and check for the photo requirement, and accordingly you can just click a photo and upload it. Once you are done with this DS-160, and make sure you check your form before finally submitting it, because you cannot make a mistake in this form. And even if you make it, you'll have to fill it again. I mean, that's not a big issue. You can fill out another DS-160 if in case you made a mistake, because I made a mistake and I had to fill another DS-160 and then take it to my visa interview. But once you are done with this, submit it and take the printout of that whole DS-160 form. Save it as a PDF as well. Step 3. Now you have to pay the visa fees, which is around $185. Why? Because US loves your money. Before even letting you in, it asks for a lot of fees. This is one of them. In order for you to start, book an appointment, a visa appointment, right? Again, the link to pay this $185 for the visa fees is in the description. You can go check it out. That's step 3. Step 4. Now what you have to do is pay SEVIS fees. Again, why? Because US loves your money. You have to pay $350 as a SEVIS fees. The link to pay this SEVIS fees, that is $350, is in the description. Why you're paying the SEVIS fees? Well, you can Google about what is this SEVIS about and you'll get an idea. But essentially, you have to pay this $350. So there are 2 fees that you have to pay. Visa fees, that is $185 for F1 visa, and $350 SEVIS fees. Step 5. Step 5 is scheduling your visa interview. Time to face the judge. This is the real deal. This is a make it or break it moment. Now again, to schedule your interview, you have to visit to a website. The link is in the description. You go there, select your country, and select the nearest consulate to your location. In my case, it was New Delhi. So I booked my appointment there. Now, just a pro tip here. If you're starting with this F1 visa process, you have to start looking for your visa slots 3 to 4 months before the start of your degree program, because it takes a while before you get a visa interview slot. And particularly for the fall intake, the bulk visa slot opening happens around 2 months before the start of the fall semester. The process is pretty simple. You have to take all the documents, which I'm going to list just now, but you have to take those documents to the nearest consulate wherever you have got your visa interview. You have to face the interviewer. They're going to ask you some basic question, which I'll be mentioning in this video later on. Just stick to the video and I'll explain. Step 6. Assuming you have your visa interview slot booked, now what you have to do is start preparing for the interview. The very first thing is gather all the documents. The documents are your passport, I20, DS-160 confirmation page, SEVIS fee payment receipt. Then comes your visa fees receipt, all the academic transcripts or the degree certificates that you have with you. Also, don't forget to carry the standardized test score, for example, your GRE, GMAT, TOEFL or IELTS score with you. If in case they ask, you should have them. Financial support documents as well. Now for the financial support, if you are a PhD student and have got a fully funded PhD offer, in that case you can say that your tuition fees and your health fees is paid off and you will be getting a stipend, which you will use for your living expense and travel expense. But if you're coming for bachelor's or master's, then you have to provide a financial proof, which ideally can be your, if you have some money with your parents' bank account, that is something that you can show, or mostly it's about loan documents that you have to provide that shows them that you have funds to take care of your stay in the United States, all the way from your education to living to travel cost. Organize your documents. You don't want to drop it down on the floor. That's not going to be a power move at all. So organize it in a file organizer or something and then take it with you. Now comes the final step. Well, exactly, it's not a step, but it's a tip from my side. How you're going to handle your visa interview process. They're going to ask you very basic basic questions. For example, in my case, they asked me like, why this university? Who's going to fund your education? Since I had fully funded PhD opportunity with me, I just said this, that my PhD program is fully funded. I am getting a stipend as well, which I will use for my living expense and travel expense and other expenditures. If you're masters, again, in this question, you have to say you have secured a loan, which is going to be used towards your education, your living and your travel. In some cases, they also ask you what courses you are planning to take. I just said I'm going to take statistics, maths, transportation and all these kind of subjects. 2 or 3, just name in front of them and you're good to go. And then there's one trick question. Then sometimes they ask, it's about what are your plans after the degree completion? Now in this case, what people say is, yeah, I plan to stay back in US. So that's the biggest mistake you can do, because you are applying for F1 visa, which is a student visa, and you're not supposed to stay back in the country on the F1 visa, right? You are not allowed to. The reason you're getting F1 visa is to complete your education, to go for an education in the United States, complete that and come back. So your answer should be something like, I don't plan to stay in US, but after the completion, I plan to, take up a job or something. You figure out some answer. But if you will say that your plans are to stay back in United States after the degree completion, well, that's going to decrease your chances of getting the visa by 100%. Another thing is, be confident, be honest, don't beat around the bush, just give straight answers to the point to the interviewer. Here's a very important part. If the interviewer does not return your passport back to you, well, congratulations, you have your F1 visa approved. Here are some final tips from my side. Start early because the visa slots fill up really fast. Be financially prepared because you have to pay 2 fees, SEVIS fees and visa fees, which is pretty huge. So be financially prepared. Be very confident in your interview. Don't worry, it's not going to be a very tough interview. And if you ever feel overwhelmed by the kind of question they might ask you, YouTube is the way to go. Just search visa interview, F1 visa interview experiences. I have made my video. There are plenty of people who have made their own experiences. Just watch those videos, you'll get a very good idea about what kind of questions you can expect in the interview. And that's it. Now you exactly know how to apply for the F1 visa. I am Ashutosh, I'm a PhD student here in the United States, and I've been making video for the past 1 year. I hope you like this video. See you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.